Okay, hello. Again, you guys are free to message me in the YouTube chat or in the Discord. Let me know if there's anything specific you want me to cover or any coins. So today I was gonna look at some more tensor chart stuff. The first thing is open interest, open value. So kind of by using open value and in relation to the price, you can sort of come to an understanding of what is going on. So we have this move, right? And here, right here, so I was watching this last night. We kind of set a low, and then open value starts dropping as price is going up. And what this usually means is that shorts are closing, shorts are covering. So this is kind of a dead cat, because there's no, this isn't longs opening, otherwise open value would be going up. So we kind of reach like a little bottom here, and shorts stop closing, and then they start opening again. You can see as price starts dropping, open value starts going up. And actually last night I kind of wanted to short here, but I knew they were already starting to squeeze shorts just from this move, and I kind of felt like this was coming. But so I thought we could maybe do this, retest the lows, but I felt like this was more eventual. I wasn't sure about this move. But anyways, I was asleep for this, so they shorts stop covering, because price starts going down, so they get more confident, and then more shorts are opening. You can use it with open interest to see exactly how many shorts are opening. But basically, as it goes down, all these shorts open, and then we reach the peak, and then you can see they start closing again, and then they do the BART, and then a whole bunch of them close. Everybody who FOMO'd here is forced to close. And then since then, yeah, we've been squeezing shorts. You can see open value going down, price going up, and again we're reaching sort of leveling out a bit. So just based on this, you might expect another little dip. So again, kind of the same thing. So up here, we actually still have longs opening. or actually this is still shorts opening. There's some shorts opening here, and then squeeze them a bit, and then a bunch of shorts are opening, and then we have a little squeeze. All these shorts cover, close, and then as price keeps going down, shorts are opening again. And then it looks like as they bottom, people start covering. And then as we went back up to 11K, this was another short squeeze. Just based on this data, you can tell it's mostly, there's more shorts closing than longs opening. And then as we start dipping here, even more shorts open as people get more confident. And then actually during this little fuckery, when we went down 10% so fast, on the first candle, this is shorts closing, but then as we were sitting here, there's longs opening, and then they can see this, and then they send it down, and then they're all closed. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. It's not always the most useful, but this is the most reliable way to get any kind of info on shorts versus longs on BitMEX, because there's no other way to determine it with other than using open interest. Okay, and I also want to look at the volume profile. So I kind of talked about this before. As price sits in one area, like here at 6K, this becomes what people call like the point of control. This is where most of the action is taking place. Most of the people are buying or selling here. So it becomes a very important zone. And the same thing happens here. So the longer you're spending here and the more volume that takes place, the more significant it will become over time. And so when we're looking for a bounce, when we're looking at this pump, right, when we're up here, you can see all the real volume took place, at 8K, at 6K, at 4K. Okay, this is where people bought. So when you get up here, there's no volume. There's nothing supporting this price. There's no volume supporting this price. So that's why we kind of fill it in a bit. We let price action take place, but still the point of control is at 8K, which is where most of the volume took place before. So even like when we're here and we're still trading in here, you can see on the chart there's a gap kind of in volume between 10,500 down to 9K. There's a little bit of volume at 9K, and then the real volume's at 8K, in towards like 8,200. So even as we fill this in still, it doesn't really fill in this volume. So until we get to a real point where there's a lot of volume, you can't really expect too much of a bounce. So if I were to be buying, this is why I'm looking at 8,000 or a bit in front of it as the first point to buy. And if that were to fail somehow, then it would be probably into this next low volume node, which would be around 6,500. And you can use this on low time frames too. And this is also in TradingView, but I don't have TradingView. Okay, so even here, when we went to 13K, you can see the high volume node is around here at 11,300. So if price is going to dump, it's gonna go towards this zone. It's gonna go probably maybe here first because there's a little bit of an area here. We did some consolidation. But if that fails, it will go to this next node. Yeah, and that's what happens here. Kind of stalled out a little bit in front of this one, but the significant area was here, so we went back down into this area, which is the point of control. Yeah, and you can see there's nothing here. There's nothing here, there's nothing supporting the price here. So there's very little resistance in this zone. There's resistance in this zone because we consolidated here a long time. So we bounced around a bit. But once we enter like this area, there's a lot less resistance. Until around here, which is where we consolidated previously. Yeah, and so before we bounced, right, so we're down here. The volume profile only works with candles that are on the chart, right? So previous candles that are over here or in front are not included. It's only the volume of the candles that are on the chart. So when we're down here, you can see we're kind of entering a place with little volume. So if you're going to bounce, you would probably expect to bounce to like 9,600 or into this next low volume node, which would be 9,900. And that's where we are right now. So from here, you probably wouldn't expect price to go above 10K. And before, when I shorted here, you can see this is where my stop loss was. It was in front of this high volume node, which is at 11,300. So I started shorting like here, and I thought, yeah, maybe it could go above 11, just a little bit. But because this is where the volume is, it shouldn't go past here. Otherwise, we're not bearish, and we'll just keep going up. So that's where we stopped, right in front of the high volume node. Does anyone have any questions about that? Or otherwise, I'll continue. Yeah, for Bitcoin. look at it top down. So for me, well, let's start on the monthly. The monthly doesn't look good. To me, this looks a lot like that. This is like a tweezer top. You have two big candles, and they have two wicks to the upside, and the close and the open are next to each other. And that's usually not good. But the cycle isn't complete yet, so it could technically keep going. But if the monthly closes like this, if the monthly closes below 10,700, you might have a couple more red months. And then looking at the weekly, it's also not looking great. We have started to turn over here. We're just holding right now at the 8, which is 9,800, which is kind of our trend, right? In the model. If you want to keep your bull trend, you have to hold the 8. And so kind of broke it, but if we can stay above it here on the weekly, that would keep the trend intact. So 9,800, important level to look out for. But right now, you can see we went out of the bands twice, and now we're filling back in, weekly turning over. The weekly says we're going back down here, which is 6,500 to 7,500, which is more bearish than me, but it's possible. Maybe we get something like this. And then the 3-day, also not looking good. Very reliable so far. Kinda looks like this one. So you don't want to buy when the cycle's in the middle like this. You want to wait for it to go down lower. So based on that, we are kind of looking for maybe this 200 MA along with the bottom of the bands to hold, which is 7,500, maybe 8K, but doesn't look good. The daily is actually the only one that is looking okay, because so far we're like almost completed on this daily cycle, and we're currently sitting on the Bollinger Bands. We just went outside of them, and then we bounced back in, which is at 9,700. And we're also holding the bands here. So if we can hold the bands, maybe we bounce back up to 10.8 or 10.5, or maybe even like higher. But if we close below this area, that's when you can expect a bigger move down. But because the cycle is kind of finishing, the daily is actually looking a little bit more bullish. And then we have the 4-hour, which I showed you guys yesterday. It started crossing well before we dumped. And it's kind of completed now. So it's kind of crossing back up. So maybe back up to here. Should be like 10.5, 10.6, I don't know. And we could see maybe a reversal based on that. You can see we held the 314 the first time, and then we went under it, bounced back, and now it's turned into a resistance. So, which is 9,900. And then the hourly, I kind of saw this last night. I saw it over here. Start turning up. And then we had a dip, and then that turned into a bull div. You can see a lower high compared to this, and the indicator's higher, so that's a bullish divergence, which is good. So on the hourly, maybe back up to 10, maybe above 10. They'll do a little run above 10, and then probably run into resistance there, even though we're kind of stalling out now. And then if somehow that were to break, it would go back up to 11.2, which would flip everything bullish. Everybody would be bullish again. So if you want the bear trend to continue on the hourly, we need to stay below like 10.2. I don't know. Really, this candle is important, where we broke down from 10.500. Yeah, that's a good level. Yeah, on the 15-minute we have flipped. And the bands have flipped. So kind of want to ride them. So maybe, yeah, we have that dip I was talking about. But maybe only down to 9,600. And then we get some FOMO back. People get greedy, and then we dump it more. You guys have any questions, alts you want me to cover, or any other things? Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable shorting below 10k. Because when they start doing the squeeze that just goes straight up, you don't get any chances to close if you're short. So I have to squeeze. There's no dips. Sometimes you just get some bullshit like this. Yeah, so I don't really want to get caught in that. I might even consider opening some longs if we can hold kind of uptrend here. And you have these. We have this meme line, which has been pretty important so far. Bounced at it like 6 times. Kind of stuck in this channel. Which would bring us back to, yeah, 10. 10-2. Which makes sense to me. When I was longing before, that's where I thought we would go. So I mean, that's what's happening now. Just I was on the wrong side of it. We can draw some lines here, like this. And this was one that was important for a while. Can draw from here to like here, which is where we bounced previously. You can see. And then these are just meme lines because they're diagonal. That's probably a really big one. I don't think most people might miss this one, but if we touched it, we'd have a good reaction from that. Yeah, horizontally, probably here. That's where we broke down from. And then here is clearly a resistance, which turned into support resistance. Consolidated here for a long time, which is exactly at 8k. That's why we had this high volume node. We're stuck trading here. It's the point of control from before. And then you can say there's another one here, which is less important but still real. Touched it a few times. Right in front of, right below 9k. And then yeah, this is the last one. It was where we consolidated under before we broke up, which is 9,300. So I mean, when you draw these trend lines, I think horizontal levels are definitely the most important. But if you have the right diagonals on your chart, you can usually see some good reactions from them. Like this one, that was a pretty good move from that, and then I just broke right through it on the other time. So you can see we have a lot of meme lines in this area. So I'd say this is definitely a really strong resistance or support in the future. So yeah, I would like to be buying with spot once we go below 9, start averaging in. Until then, still have no interest in buying. Yeah, this huge parabolic move up, so you can expect a parabolic move down. You can look at alts. Good dominance, which is still going up. Actually, maybe it's stopping. That's promising for alts. Yeah, that looks better than before, kind of breaking our dominance uptrend. Yeah, maybe eating some bounces now. I know they started bouncing a bit yesterday. Get alt cap. Yeah, so we broke my meme line, which I talked about I think last stream. So I said you can't really chart this chart with lines like this, but apparently you can. And we bounced at this level, which is from this triangle, and then bounced again at this level, which was reconsolidated for a bit, and now we're bouncing. Pretty cool. Let's look at ETH. Holding the 200 over well, ETH really got destroyed. Like when we were over here, when we were over here, I was like, yeah, I guess we could go to 200 or 180, but I didn't really think it was possible, and then they just fucking nuke it. It's insane. I don't know, like, I feel like ETH can go back to double digits again, depending on how long this alt capitulation goes on for. But on the daily we're bouncing at our level in the model, broke the bands, bounce at the 200, 300. Hour, we start consolidating under the 300, which means the trend flips. And if it doesn't bounce here, and it it starts trading below it, then we're suddenly in a bear market. So yeah, maybe ETH goes back up to 250, but I don't think it can go back above here. Cardano really destroyed. But for now, I mean, you don't know. Are we here? Just get a little bounce before more downside. Yeah, Litecoin was the Litecoin I mentioned yesterday. I think the halving is like August 8th or 10th or something like that. But the last halving, I don't even know. It's on this chart. Oh, I think it's right here actually. It went up to like $8 and then it went down into the halving. So that's our only reference point. But that's a pretty strong daily. If you can close it above 90, maybe you can get some more upside. The daily is low, so it looks not bad. It's bouncing where we had a lot of consolidation before. But, you know, I feel like it's a sell the news kind of thing, regardless. I don't know, man. I don't want to buy a coin in a 3-month downtrend. I'd like to see some more consolidation, maybe. If alts start going sideways a bit, maybe do something like this, you know, the Adam and Eve bottom, then can get a bit more bullish on them. For now, I really want to catch any knives. RSR. Yeah, I said you should take some profit when we were over here. And then I think you just buy back whenever. My exposure to it is only a small percent of my portfolio. So I would definitely be adding back in here or down here, because this is a long-term hold, because it just has so much strong fundamentals and hype behind it. I don't think there's any way it doesn't go back. It doesn't like do some crazy shit in the future. But the daily's obviously high, so this can turn down some more. Like I said, if you have a high exposure to this, a lot of risk, then I would have been taking profits. It did go up 50%, but for me it's just a few percent of my portfolio, so I don't care if it goes to zero. I believe in it going up a lot more, because that's Coinbase and Peter Thiel and all that bullshit. It's a good dip. Yeah, any other alts you want me to cover? Otherwise, that's it. I think somebody wanted me to talk about my trades I took in the week. So that was yeah, I shorted here, I think, because it started feeling like a scam. And I had this line that I had drawn, which is part of this bigger triangle. I felt like this was kind of like this move, right? Where they spike it above the level and then send it lower. So it felt like a good low risk trade. Just take the short here, continue the downtrend in the bear market. And yeah, this was like this one where they like to just spike it and then it's just a stop run and then that's the top. And I took some other trades where it's like sometimes they'll do the opposite where it's like a bullish stop run, like here. You could have longed and then sold up here, and then they did it again. And then I was trying to long in here because it felt just really oversold. This move was so fast. But sometimes when the candle is so big like this, that's when you have the follow through. So yeah, and then we were like liquidating short or liquidating longs, like a lot of longs, and BitMEX was massively overloaded and oversold. So it was kind of a free money trade. I didn't get everything out where I wanted to, but still profitable, and made back the losses from trying to long this part with everybody else. But for now, yeah, looking to long perhaps back down here. Don't want to short because we are short squeezing, and I don't want to be getting squeezed with everybody else. So long if we go down here. Otherwise, no trade zone. Can maybe FOMO into a long into resistance, but I don't want to do that. Alright, thanks guys, see you guys later, good luck with your trades.